So I wanted to get better at sketching with a dip pen or a fountain pen, so I started sketching and ended up filling 10 pages of my larger sketchbook with random things like animals, clothes, fashion, people, and sketches of classical paintings. I'm using a refillable fountain pen without the cartridge, and they can be really annoying most of the time. So using it without the cartridge is much easier for me, because it has this little thing in the nib where ink can be collected, so you just dip and away you go. I did 10 pages in this sketchbook. The first one wasn't packed with as many sketches as the rest of it, which is fine because it was a time to warm up and get a feel of the pen to paper and how well the ink flows on the paper. I turned on Pinterest and sketched whatever I came across, whether it was a toaster or a Renaissance painting, just if I saw it and thought it would be fun or beneficial for me to practice it, I did it. I've always loved anything got to do with forests or jungles, so I absolutely love fungi, especially moss, and anything like insects or things that crawl along the forest floor. Flora and fauna books are my favourites. I love paintings of like mushrooms and forest life, so I had to sketch a bunch of that stuff. I love the witchetty grub next to the praying mantis, and probably the mushrooms the most. I just threw in an oven for fun, because why not? This whole video isn't anything other than me doing a whole bunch of sketching, because I always learn things from these activities, anything got to do with practicing. Not relying on anything like underlining pencil sketches is always handy for me. Some sketches don't work out. Well, a lot of sketches very rarely work out. I just finish it and move on to the next one. Eventually they fade into the background, and it's fun to try and do a really large sketch in the background to hide everything that you don't like. Like in one of them I did a huge leaf in the background just to hide a few faces that didn't turn out well. My favourite page is the bear page. It has so much depth and gore, and there's just a lot of fierce looking animals in it. I've never drawn bears before, and it was really fun to have a go. I guess there was a lot of stuff in here that I haven't drawn before, which is why I love doing these sorts of things. And I even got a small paintbrush and added darker shadows to places on the bears to make it even darker and more in your face. I love this page so much. The rhino looks so cool. Why are foxes so popular in the art world? Is it just me, or does everyone see fox art everywhere? I drew a few of them in this video. They're cute, but still, why are they so popular? I saw loads of these mice on thistles as well. It seems like it's a photography thing to take photos of foxes and mice on thistles. I don't know, but I really didn't like the big rabbit at the top of the page, so eventually I covered it with a toucan. If you don't like the drawing, cover it up with something else. It's as easy as that. Eyes are something that I can always practice, but it's never really been a struggle for me to draw eyes. I used to do a lot of portraits from photos with ink pens, so I learned how to draw things with minimal lines and sort of capture people's eyes reasonably well, but I am always practicing them because everybody's eyes are different. So I'm using Parker Quink ink, I really don't like saying that, in black and blue. I got them years ago at Officeworks and they've been sitting around forever, so I decided to use them in a big way and get something out of them, like learn how to sketch. So, I'm a creative person, and I love inspiring creativity in people. Just seeing someone create something with a pen and pencils on their own is so amazing. That's why I love watching other artists paint and make decisions and change their original plan because they realised it would look better this way, and making that decision and running with it, not minding if it doesn't work out, because for me personally, art has no real guidelines of what it's supposed to look like in the end or when it's supposed to be finished. If you're creating it for yourself, it's your choice throughout the entire process of how it turns out. And I know it's hard, but even if you think it's a bad painting or a sketch or whatever you're making, it is vital that you created it. Every single time you create a drawing or painting or something that you've made, it's put into your memory and you can build on it next time. Just don't stop creating art. It is so important that you keep exploring as you get older, because at some point in life we sort of lose the creative childlike side of us and replace it with responsibilities and day-to-day life. I'm not saying growing or becoming more mature as a person is a bad thing. We need to go through change if we ever want to grow in character or grow as a person. But I'm just saying you can be a grown-up and mature and still be creative and have fun sometimes, so just keep that in mind. Unplanned or randomly chosen sketching is a great and really fun way to get back into drawing. I usually do this by looking at my home page on Pinterest and just choosing random things on it to draw. It's even better when you choose something that you haven't drawn before, which is where I'd suggest doing multiple sketches of the same thing so you can understand how everything works together, but that's sort of like a different subject. Pinterest is handy because it will give you related things to look at when you scroll down, but it absolutely doesn't matter if you have an entire page of unrelated things, just go mad with it. But if you want, you can have a page of unrelated stuff and then chuck in 2 or 3 things that are similar to combine everything to make it seem like there's a flow through the whole page. I'm getting more into sketching in large sketchbooks, so I have plenty of room to fix sketches and move around on the page. I like smaller sketchbooks, but I feel a little restricted sometimes. I love using them for travel though, like on trains when sketching out in public. So when I reached the Renaissance painting part of Pinterest, it was pretty exciting. Having a go at recreating these lovely paintings was actually really fun. They're really relaxed poses. A few of them didn't have the names of the painting or the artist, so I have no idea who they are by, because I don't know a whole lot about classical paintings. And like usual, I started sketching and got through an entire page and realised I didn't press record. Yay! So I got to do an extra page of classical paintings and filmed at some different angles, so I had to severely crop it because my desk is so messy. Messy desk, creative mind, isn't that what they tell people like me to make us feel better about our messy desks? But anyway, I think that's it for now. I've been really lazy with videos lately, so have a bonza day in quarantine and please keep drawing.